Well, welcome back, Brother Pius and John. I thought I could do another one of these videos where we talk about BBR specific topics. So I think what I'm gonna do left here, let me just, so in your rule book on page 3, there's this list, differences from Global 1940. So we've already gone through most of these, but there's a few that I think we have not yet touched on. Then I was just going to do a video on each of these until we're done. But the one that I thought we should go through, let me find it here, right here, number 22. Italy can switch to allies, which I think is one of the kind of cool and fun aspects of BBR. Because, you know, historically they did actually switch to the Allies. So I'm gonna, and I've got kind of some scenarios on the board here that we'll kind of go through. But here is the section on how this works. So this is on page 15 in the rule book here under Italy and fall of Rome. So I'm just going to read this. In the event of the Allies capturing Rome, Italy will immediately change from an Axis power to an Allied power. In addition, it will automatically be in a state of war against the Axis for the duration of the game. So it doesn't switch back again, okay? Once it switches to Allied, it stays Allied. Any territories or sea zones in which Axis and Italian units share, Italian units are immediately replaced with corresponding Axis units. In the event German and Japanese units are both with the Italian units, the Axis with the most units turns the Italians. If it were a tie, I suppose you could pick. Then it says, and if the territory belongs to Italy, it is immediately changed to the accumulating Axis territory. Okay, so, and I'll come back and I'll read through the rest here, but I thought let's kind of go through an example of how this might play out here. So, okay. So here you go. Okay, so let's say the Allies come in and take Rome, okay? And so Italy gets flipped, okay? So what this is saying is in any territory where you've got combined Italian and other Axis units, so, you know, Germans or Japanese, those territories are immediately going to flip. So like here, northern Italy, where I've got an Italian infantry and I've got a German tank, this is immediately going to become German because of the German tank. And the Italian infantry that's there is going to get swapped out with a German infantry, okay? And then here's the same type of scenario going on down here. So here you've got an Italian fleet, but there's a German submarine in here. So what's going to happen is you're immediately going to take off the Italian destroyer, transport, and cruiser, and you're going to replace it with a German, Italian transport, and sorry, what did I have there? Whatever it was. I think I had a destroyer, cruiser, transport, something like that. I think that's what I had. Anyway, because there's a German unit here, you pull off the Italian units and you swap them with German units. Or if it were Japanese, it'd be Japanese units. Okay? So that's kind of how that works. And let's just go ahead and read the rest of this, because it'll tell you what you do if, what do you do in cases where the Italians are not, there's not accompanying German or Japanese there. So let's see. Right here. So Allied territories which were occupied by only Italian units are reverted back to the original Allied power if they have a capital. Otherwise, Italy, and that would be Allied Italy, would keep control. If it's Axis controlled, like if it's originally Axis controlled, Italy would take control of the territory. Okay, so and that would be Allied Italy would take control. So here's some more scenarios for you. So let's say Italy's been flipped. We've got an Italian here in French Algeria that the Italians had taken this. The French, let's just assume that the French, Paris is still under German control, okay? So the French don't have their capital, so the French are not going to get this back. If Paris had been liberated, this would go to France. But assuming Paris is still under, German control, this will be Italian, but it'd be Allied Italian, okay? And the same here, this would be Allied Italian, be treated the same way. These two, let's see, so these scenarios here, so this one is what we just talked about up before, what was going on in northern Italy. So this is, there's a German unit in here, so when Italy flips, the Italian unit is going to get replaced with the German infantry because there was a German already there, so they're going to take it. And then this is going to become German, okay? This one here, let's say Italy had control of Egypt and it was only Italians there. So what's going to happen, this is going to revert back to UK. And so UK is going to get, they're going to move up 2 on the IPC tracker, and the Allied Italy would move back down 2 because it's not Italy's anymore. These units would stay here because now they're allied with the UK, but this would become UK controlled, okay? That's basically it for how Italy works. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Thanks.